Another Cardano news update for you guys. I have a lot to unpack in this one, so I'll try and get through this as quickly as possible so that you can get on with your day. But if it's your first time here, hit that thumbs up, hit that like button, subscribe, and that notification bell. I'll keep you up to date with everything that is happening in the Cardano ecosystem. Now, this very first news item here is just a reminder that there are these scams going around at the moment. These NFTs may be appearing in your wallet, and you do need to be aware that these are all fake. It will take you to a fake website here. You can see this website here is that there. It's a fake one. Don't go there. You will entice you to sign a transaction on the website and you will lose your assets. A lot of the wallets and a lot of the explorers at the moment are marking them as scams so that you are aware of what's going on as well. But just for those people that are coming back into the market at the moment, these are scams. They are appearing all over the place. Same with the AI ads. They're scams as well. Please be aware of them. You may have seen one before this video. Trust me, it's a scam. Now, for those that are coming back into the market after a 4-year hiatus from the last Bitcoin halving, you may have been wondering what has been going on in the Cardano ecosystem. A lot has happened. From the last 4 years ago, we had the Shelley launch, which was the Cardano native staking. Since then, we've had scaling, we've had smart contracts, and now we're into the governance era. So now there'll be a lot more emphasis on organizing the people as much as possible within the ecosystem. So organizing us to start taking control of the Cardano blockchain, voting on parameters, voting on releases of Cardano Node, and all sorts of things that operate the Cardano blockchain. Now, this is super interesting, and there's a lot of work being done on Sancho.network. You can find all the information there. I'll put links down below in the show notes for you. But also try out the GovTools website where you can actually play around with a lot of this stuff. A lot of the wallets are integrating and upgrading for the SanchoNet era. And we'll see this hopefully very soon with the next hard fork, which is the Chang hard fork in Q2 of this year. So fingers crossed we do see a lot more of that. If you want to learn more about the governance era, check out interceptmbo.org, where you can learn more about the members-based organization that will eventually be fully formed for the governance era of Cardano. Now, speaking of Cardano nodes, the latest release has been put out, 8.9.0. So if you are a stake pool operator or running a node itself, you can start upgrading to this latest version. Now, this is a Genesis Lite or Bootstrap Peers version, and this allows you to set a trusted set of nodes that you may be connecting to. So it may be your own relay nodes that you need to connect to at a certain period of time. Maybe your node isn't syncing properly. This will allow you to fall back to that primary set of nodes, or maybe it's your friend's stake pool that you can connect to, or a trusted party that you know you can always connect to and get the right data from. So having this trusted peers is a nice fallback mechanism in case your node isn't syncing properly. It's good to have more of these updates for the peer-to-peer network on the Cardano blockchain. Now, I do know that's a little bit of a technical aspect, a technical news update, but there are a lot of people out there that are interested in this stuff. This next news update here is from Eternl, and the team here are constantly building out new things. Eternl has to be my go-to wallet in the Cardano ecosystem, and it has everything that you could possibly need within a wallet. It is essentially the Swiss Army knife of wallets, and I absolutely love using it. And having this beta version here allows anyone that is building dApps out there to try out some of these new features that they're deploying, so that you know that they will work with your dApp when they release the next version. So it's really good to have this testing tool out there, especially if you are running a dApp, a decentralized exchange, or whatever it is. Now, they are putting up some new features here in this new release in the beta version. They have a new SIP30 dApp connector. So this is how dApp would connect to your Lite wallet. So please help testing that, especially if you are familiar with all these DEXs out there. They also have Eternl Guard, and this goes back to the scams that I was talking about. So they're integrating in Eternl Guard, which marks all these tokens and hopefully marks wallets as well. So we know which wallets, which tokens that are being airdropped to you are scams, and it will hopefully protect some of these newbies coming back into the ecosystem. We also have improved performance and faster syncing, always needed. And we also have SanchoNet support. Do you like how I'm linking this back to the previous news stories? Yeah, it's kind of useful. So SanchoNet currently only supports a couple of wallets. So more wallets that do support this for before the Chang hard fork is really needed so that we can start the governance era of Cardano. So it's good to know that the Eternl team are working very hard on that. You can download the Eternl wallet, the brand new version here, the beta version, I should say. I'll put links down below for you guys so you can get to it and give it a test. If you can provide the team with any amount of feedback, I'm sure that will deeply appreciate it. Now, this is all a precursor to the next version that will come out. This is what we're looking forward to here at the nicer UI, the nicer user experience, the very graphical one of Eternl to make the onboarding of new users a lot easier. So we'll have a Swiss Army knife that actually looks like a sexy wallet. So hopefully we get this implemented very soon from the Eternl team. They did mention here, this comment, is this going to happen? And this was back in February 2023. So it's been quite a while, guys. But yes, we're actively working on it. Eternl 1.12 is necessary prerequisite for V2. So fingers crossed we do see this very soon. The team do work very hard on the wallet itself. Now, speaking of governance, Project Catalyst Fund 11 onboarding process is underway and should be complete by now. Really, the initial date for the initial milestone payments was the 11th of March. At time recording, this is the 13th at the moment. So we are a little bit behind, and we can check the milestone readiness from this spreadsheet here. We can see Danny is actually on this spreadsheet at the moment, but we can see down here which projects have submitted and gone through the basic processes of onboarding within the Fund 11. So let me go through this really quickly for those that don't know how Project Catalyst works. So once you do get funded and voted in, you have to go through this onboarding process. The very first thing is a proof of life to prove that you are a human and you are who you say you are. The next is the onboarding forms. So you have to provide your payment address and all that. Next is the statement of milestones. So these are the milestones of your project to say what you achieve at which point in time so that it can be signed off. Now, these milestones are approved at this point, so you do have to stick to these milestones as you go along to kick your goals. And of course, a test transaction to confirm that the address that you provided in the onboarding form is correct and you have access to it. Now, if we go down a little bit further here, we do have our own project for CardanoPress, which I am ever so thankful for you guys all voting for. But we have the CardanoPress security audits and improvements, and we can go to the milestones and you can see transparently across all the different projects what milestones have been set and how much ADA they're being paid at each point. So you can see what these milestones are. You can open the details, you can read what's going to be delivered for each one of those points and how it's going to be audited. So it's a really, really transparent process. If you want to get in and dig deep on any of these projects, if you want to see what they're delivering and how they're delivering and how much they're being paid at each point, you can dig down into each one of those projects. So it's a really nice way of doing governance, and we're going to see a lot more of this improve over the next various funds. Fund 12 is coming up very soon at the end of April, and I would like to remind people that Fund 11 opening town hall will be an in-person event. So this town hall will be run in one of these 5 countries down here. These are the launch cities. Let me just get this up for you. And it is here, 6 cities, I should say: Tokyo, Barcelona, Toronto, Nairobi, Sydney, or Buenos Aires. To vote for one of these cities, just open up your Catalyst voting app. You would have had to already register previously before Fund 11. So if you haven't registered before, please do start registering now so that you can always use your wallet. There is no incentive for voting in this one other than having maybe a city that you live in or close by have a in-person event where you can actually attend, learn more about governance and learn more about Project Catalyst in general. So fingers crossed, Sydney gets voted in. Hint, hint, please vote for Sydney. It's the closest city from me, and I'll be helping the team organize the Sydney event if it does get voted in. Otherwise, we'll do a smaller scale one. It won't be the big in-person town hall, but we'll do a Project Catalyst working group workshop in Sydney itself, so that people can learn more about Project Catalyst, and we can give some feedback from the community to the Project Catalyst team as well. So put links to this all in the show notes, but if you open up your Catalyst app and vote for Sydney, good on you. Now, talking about our project, CardanoPress, I'd just like to highlight this. This is something that the team have been working on, and this affects all websites that use CardanoPress. So for those that don't know, CardanoPress allows you to build a WordPress website, so a off-the-shelf, open-source WordPress website, integrate in CardanoPress, and have that wallet connector, that dApp connector experience. And you can do NFT gating, you can do a stake pool website where you can delegate directly from the website, all sorts of really cool mechanisms. You can tie in e-commerce to it, so it's a really, really cool tool. But what we've been working on lately is optimization, so search engine optimization and page speed performance. And this is the Learn Cardano website before our optimizations of CardanoPress in general. We were loading the website in about 3.3 seconds according to GT metrics. But after our team had been working on this very hard, we've got an after score here, load time of 0.8 seconds. That is a phenomenal increase, and we essentially almost got a full performance score here of 99%. So I'm really stoked about that, really happy with what the team have been implementing for CardanoPress, and this will affect anyone, all the dApps out there, the CardanoPress powered websites. Their performance will go up, performance will go up, their load times will go down, and will rank better overall. So if you wanted a competitive edge against competitors, this is it. This is really cool. Now, we did do a slightly different bias location because our server here for Learn Cardano is in Sydney. So we did the testing from Sydney, and we got a 100% score, just saying, and we loaded in like 0.5 seconds. So I'm pretty happy with that. If you want to check out the scores, I'll put a link to this tweet so you can click on these reports and see exactly for yourself how it all works. If you want to start playing around with this particular release, you can get to it at CardanoPress GitHub repository. Again, links down below. It's version 1.9.0. Now, the NMKR team constantly work in the background, and sometimes you don't know what's going on with the team, but they are delivering again. This is the week of announcements, apparently, and this very first announcement here is around the NMKR token buyback program. So if you've been delegating to their stake pool, you'll be able to earn some of these NMKR tokens. If you're a part of various different ecosystems and airdrops, you would have received some of these NMKR tokens too. It has quite a bit of utility to it. If you haven't checked out my NMKR white paper breakdown, links to it in the top right hand corner there for you, so you can learn all about what NMKR are trying to deliver for the NFT community and NFT minting in general. But they do a lot. Now, this is a 6-month testing phase for this buyback, and usually these buyback programs stabilize the price of the token or slightly increases the price of the token because there is that buy pressure on it. So I would watch this one over the next few months to see how it goes. Probably the NMKR team are looking at it as well, so they can see if they should continue this buyback program to keep and stabilize the price for the community, or they may not. So I don't know. We'll see how this one goes. I'd like to follow this one, and I will check back in a few months' time to see how it is. Now, the second announcement that they have put through is around the products that they're delivering in 2024. And let's have a look at this little table here, which goes through all of it. So we've got Finest Investments. This is a real world asset tokenization platform. We've got RWA.ID, which is RWA Trust Score Framework. So they're doing a lot of work around this real world asset side of things. And I have to say, RWAs is one of those trends that you're going to see this year in 2024. I think RWAs, along with DPINs, is the narrative for this particular bull run. Last bull run, we had NFTs, and everyone was literally aping into all of these JPEGs out there. But this was just the beginning premise of the technology, and now it's really matured into real world assets and DPIN technology. So keep an eye out for these two here and what the team are delivering around that. We have a whole bunch of other things here around tooling, UI, and all different things improving NMaker Studio and making it even open source. Look down here, open source NMaker Studio, making tools accessible to everyone. So that's super interesting that they're taking that approach. Looking forward to it, guys. Looking forward to it. Now, like I said, there are a lot more updates coming out from the NMaker team this week. It's supposed to be a full week of updates and announcements. So keep an eye on their Twitter account for what's coming up next. Now, this one here is, I think is really cool. Mayz is really cool. I did an interview a while back with Diego after Rare Evo about the platform and what they're trying to achieve, but essentially they're doing index funds on the Cardano blockchain. And if you want to see that interview, again, links up there in the top right hand corner should appear for you, and you'll be able to watch that interview. Really, really cool stuff that they're building here. But they're launching their testnet. They're launching their testnet, and you can get to it here. I'll put a link to this Medium post where you can read about all the details. But they have 3 million Mayz tokens that will be airdropped to participants, and this blog post goes through everything that they are expecting and will walk you through the process of using their platform and testing and providing feedback as well. So we've got the beginner, the very first task, buy a fund token. Second task, buy a fund token and create a swap order, etc., etc. So there's quite a few things here to go through and test for the team. We've got the feedback links there as well. So everything that you need to do. Now, this is the platform here itself. So you can see the various Cardano DEX funds, the Cardano Lend Fund, Cardano DeFi Fund. So we have a few things going on here at the moment all around these various index funds. So check it out if you're interested in this one. I think ETFs, index funds, are a really easy way to enter a market, especially if you don't know or don't understand the markets very well, or if you want to attack or get exposure to all the deep end projects on Cardano, or all the RWA projects, or even all the real estate projects within Cardano. So if you know that narrative is there, and if you know it's going to go well, or you think it might go well this bull cycle, then it's definitely something that you can use to your advantage to gain exposure to these various tokens. So there we go. We've got some icons loading up at the moment. So hopefully they do put together some of these other funds, or people can create them in a decentralized way so that people can start playing around with it and gain exposure to these indexes. Love indexes in general. I used to work for the Blue Shift decentralized exchange, which was built all around those indexes. So if you do want to play around with indexes at the moment, do check out Blue Shift as well. Now that's it for this news update. I have a lot more, so do check out my next episode tomorrow. But I'll leave you with this here. I thought this was pretty cool. This is a post from Decimalist. You listen to LoFi while working. I listen to Charles talking scale. We are not the same. And I love this. So Subcritical comes back with, I listened to Charles LoFi and NovaPool. I had no idea this was out there, but NovaPool put this out, and it's literally a long LoFi track with a little bit of Charles overlaid in the background. And I thought it was absolutely brilliant. If you haven't heard of this before, do check it out. Let me just play a little bit. I don't think it's copyrighted music because it is all on YouTube at the moment. So here we go. Yeah, you should be able to hear that.
Hi, this is Charles Hoskinson broadcasting live from warm, sunny Colorado. Always warm, always sunny, sometimes Colorado.
Right, enough of that. So if you enjoyed this episode, please consider hitting that like button, hit subscribe, click that notification bell, and like I said before, I'll keep you up to date with everything that's happening in the Cardano ecosystem. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for the next episode as well. I have a lot more news updates to go through as well. But like I said, concise, condense, get through as much as possible, as quickly as possible. I'll see you in the next video.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast.